Hi everyone. My name is Betsy and the channel is Betselina Stitches. You can also find me on Instagram under the same account name. And today's going to be a little bit different. I was looking through my physical patterns and I thought it might be a good time to do a pattern parade for just the physical patterns that I have. I have many more digital patterns, and I'm thinking about the ways I might want to share those. But for now, just starting with the physical patterns um, and kits that I have. So um, I'll also be using this time to think about what I might want to start or um, put on my list for 2026. And then making sure that the patterns I have that are on my list for 2025 are uh, sorted out of this giant pile of things. Um, and yeah, I will also try to put in where I have a physical pattern in something I'm already working on. And I haven't done any giveaways yet, but this might be a time to potentially think about what things I might also want to give away. So, um, welcome if you're new here. If you're coming back, thanks for coming back. If you see something you like here or something that resonates with you, please make sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, let's get started. Okay, so if you're new here, just a reminder, this is a channel about cross stitch. I do sometimes talk about crochet or potentially in the future knitting and books, but today I'm really going to be focused on cross stitch patterns that I have in my stash. And I said I have a giant pile. It feels like a giant pile to me, but I know there are people who've been stitching much longer than me who have so many more patterns than I, but I still thought this would be interesting to see the different things that I've acquired in the last 2 years or so that I have been cross stitching. I will say that most of these came from D-Stash or new patterns. I have bought some new physical patterns, but a lot of these came from other Stitchers D-Stash, Facebook, or eBay. So mostly secondhand, except for things that are new in the last couple of years. And I guess, or designers that are still putting out patterns and yeah. So some of these I'm gonna not take out of the plastic because they're sealed. So specifically, I have this lavender and lace pattern. It's called the Spirit of Christmas. And this is Lavender and Lace is by Mary Levitt Inblum, and she also did Told in a Garden, and I think maybe is the mother of Nora Corbett, if I'm remembering that correctly. There's a relationship there. So yeah, this one is The Spirit of Christmas by Lavender and Lace. And this one, again, was part of a D-Stash. Or actually, some of these are giveaways, so I think this one might have come in a giveaway. Then I have this great booklet that has multiple patterns. It's by Jeanette Cruz Designs, and it's called Catitudes, the 13th Litter. So I guess the series is Catitudes. So this is a much older one, and I'll get in a little closer so you can see some of the, there's a calico with the basketball. Um, and I think I got this one because this cat looks like our older cat, Sweetie Pie. Um, but yeah, just an older booklet of cat patterns. I'll look and see if there's any other ones I missed. Um, it doesn't look like there's any more pictures, but there is a whole alphabet that is like this, where it's the letters with the cat inside of it. So that's that one. Okay, and then another older booklet, we have Alma Lynn A to Z by Jeanette Cruz Designs. So this is just Baby Alphabets and Borders, I think is the name of it. So this is just these sort of older children's alphabets, and some fonts that are just letters. So again, I think this came from a D-stash. There's some more in the back. Little bunnies and bears and bees. So that's that one. And then moving into totally new things. These are not really in any order. It's just the pile I had in my box. But here is the bendy stitchy pattern that I had misplaced in my last Flosstube stargazing. This is part of the Night Garden series that came out at this year's market. So it's like a little snail on a mushroom and a moon. I really like it. So yeah, that's that one. Another Night Garden is All the Stars by the Artsy Housewife. And this is in the Night Garden series that uses the same 4 Threadworks threads. And then there's Moonlight Walk by Romy's Creations, again a part of the Night Garden series. So that's pretty cool. It gives me good feelings. And then another one from Quaint Rose Needle Arts that is from the Night Garden series. And you'll see this one has instructions for how to do a mattress finish. So I'm thinking about potentially doing that one as a mattress finish. My Secret Garden by Pickle Barrel Designs. Part of the Night Garden series. Octopus Biscornu by Tiny Modernist. And I think she has a bunch of these different biscornos with animals on them. I know I was looking for the one with the skunk when I found this, so but really like this. Hope to start that kind of soon also. Okay, so back to older patterns. I don't know if this one is told in a garden or not, but it is Marilyn Levitt emblem. It's called Simple Gifts. If I can find a better photo, I might put it in there. It's like a bell pull type pattern. Back to Night Garden. This is Night Owl by Stitchy Prose. Using that same palette. And then I have two freebies from the Night Garden that I can't show you because the pattern is visible. But I also have Iris by The Blue Flower and Luna by Annie B's Folk Art. And then Moonlit Moth by Counting Puddles is part of that series as well. And I just love the way that Counting Puddles does the cross stitch with the back stitch and black work over the top of it to make a texture. I haven't yet stitched one of her patterns, but I'm really looking forward to it. Then I got Nightmare Garden by Top Knot Stitcher. That's also part of the Night Garden series, and it has like a carnivorous plant and a ghost. Super cute. I also got Ink Circles, Forget Me Nots, the little elephant, part of the Night Garden series. Then there's Catch and Release by Shaded Stitchery. That's part of the Night Garden series. And this is, Nuri actually did, the owner of Shaded Stitchery actually did all of the branding for the Night Garden this year. Yeah, she's such a great artist. All of these artists are great. Okay, this is an older one I got. I was looking for sheep patterns because one of my coworkers at the time was like really into raising sheep. I think she has sheep that are on someone else's property that she takes care of sometimes. This is Sheepy Hollow by the Cricket Collection. Hopefully that's a little easier to see. But you know, this is one of those where the photos on the front are so small, but it's two different tiers of sheep. And yeah, love that. This one is by The Primitive Hare. It's Harriet Tubman. So yeah, I love this like sort of using the primitive style to show something historical. It says her name and her years of birth and death, and then it says every great dream begins with a dreamer. Then this one is by Lori Holt, and it's called Quilter's Cottage. And my house doesn't really look like that, but I do have flowers and a little walkway. And so I'm kind of drawn to these ones that have like a gate and a little walkway. So yeah, that's fun. Then this one, I believe is also Marilyn Lovett Emblem. I'm not sure if it's under the Told in a Garden moniker or not, but I just like this, like, it's kind of a band sampler, and it says, I count the stitches line by line and watch the thread record the time. My eyes were strong, my hand was true, and filled with love made this for you. So I like that. I'm not very religious, so a lot of samplers have some kind of religious verses or psalms or something, and this one is a little more my speed. I haven't quite done any yet that I've changed the words on, but that is definitely something I've seen other people do that I might do in that case. And one thing about this pattern and the next one is that it says 10 cents on it. I think I actually got this for 10 cents at a thrift store, so that's exciting. This is another one by Marilyn Lovett Emblem. And it's the home of a quilter. So I really liked that. It's hard to see because it's behind the sticker, but there's a person sitting at a sewing machine or a long arm or something at the bottom there. Another one I got for 10 cents is Fresh from the Garden, and you'll see it says, how do vegetables taste? They taste like more. And then this one says, ask the children and birds how berries taste. And I haven't been super into gardening as of late, but I do love to grow fresh fruits and vegetables, so I think that's what attracted me to this one. This is part of the Vanessa and collection by Therese Beasley Woodruff. Then I have Be Like a Crow by Erica Michaels. I think this one came off of Facebook, like a Facebook tea-stash. And it has this, I think this is the biggest one, and then it has some of the motifs on smaller things. If you look at the back, you can see there's like some different ones that are smaller. Hop happily down the street for no apparent reason. Collect shiny things. Scream loudly when you see your friends. And this one was designed to be done on silk gauze. So that sounds really challenging. I'm not sure if I would do it on silk gauze, but that's a cool idea. So yeah. And then I have several Little House Needleworks designs. This one's called Baked Goods. This one I think came with a giveaway. It's called Official Crazy Cat Lady by Raise the Roof Designs. And part of that same set, I think, is Coffee Crazy. And I looked and it has all three of these designs. Is it coffee yet? Love my coffee. Coffee Crazy. And then by Waxing Moon Designs, this one is called Autumn Nap. And I think the pumpkin frame is something you can purchase, but the design is just in the center there. And I don't have the buttons that go with it. But yeah, super cute. You can tell I like things with cats. Another lavender and lace one. This one is called Morning Song. It's a woman with 2 children and like the flower garden in the background. Super pretty. I don't have any children, so I don't know exactly how that would fit into my scene, but I do super appreciate how interesting and beautiful the artwork is. This next one is called Friendly Stitchers, and it has 2 different designs. This is by Buttercup Designs. And you can see it says, Stitchers make the best of friends, and I love to stitch. So yeah, this is by Buttercup Designs. Again, I think this might have been part of like, you know, the Sunshine Stitchers, they do this, well, I don't know if they do it every year, but there was a period of time where every week there were several different packets of giveaways, of just things that either they were giving up or people had sent them to give away. And so like each giveaway was at least like 5 or 10 patterns or pieces of cloth or different things. So there were some I got where it was like I was really into one of the patterns and the other ones were cute, but we'll see if I end up stitching them. So that was my first set. I'm going to pause and get ready for the next set. Okay, I got myself a little bit organized. I don't know if I shared this or not in the last run, but I didn't remember sharing it, so I'll cut that out if I did. But this is Wee Chicken by Heart in Hand, and I just thought that was super cute. And then this is one I plan to start this year, Halloween at Hawkrun Hollow. Sorry, it goes like this. So this is my Carrot Child sampling. I think a lot of people have stitched this, so maybe familiar to many of you, but I just really enjoyed the detail and the like design of this one. One I got from Market this year is Pigeon and Petal by The Blue Flower. An Ode to Libraries by Heartstring Samplery. I showed this kind of recently because I'm thinking this might be a start closer in my future. Peekaboo Birds by Robin Pickens. And if you are not familiar with her designs but you recognize her name, it might be because she was originally a quilter. She still does lots of quilting. That's really amazing, but kind of ventured into cross stitch more recently. But yeah, she has such a good eye for color, I think. This one is by Teresa Wensler. This one is called Unicorn. Kind of dark, but hopefully that's a good view of it. And then Prairie Schooler Nevermore. Yeah, just really cool, very typical Prairie Schooler design, but new to me. I haven't stitched anything by Prairie Schooler yet. This is another one by them called Bump in the Night. And it has all these different little motifs. I love the wolf and the cat, and yeah, the bats that say eek. That's great. Then another Halloween one that I think I saw Wendy from Matrix Stitcher. It was thinking about doing. I actually just bought the colorway Radioactive from Be Stitch Me, and I'm thinking about starting the bell pull. I need to look and make sure I have enough fabric, but yeah, would love to start some of this. It's like sort of a new style of thing to me that I've been more and more interested in, is doing something where the fabric is really bright but the stitching is monochromatic, so, or only a few colors. But yeah, to get a little closer, it's like that wild moon with the face and these different witches. Yeah, super cute. I actually thought this was older, but I think it might have come out. Oh, it is older. It says 2013. For some reason, I saw it like when I was looking at market things more recently. So yeah, and then here's another Little House Needleworks. This one is called In the Beginning, and I just really like the composition there. Again, like I said, I'm not super into like the biblical references, but I do super appreciate the design. Then after that, here's another one that's like a fewer number of colors. This one is by Joan Elliott Design and is called Celestial Symphony. And I'm not sure if I've talked about it on this channel, but my partner grew up in Paris, and so I also appreciate that there's some French in this one. We speak French at home sometimes. But yeah, just a beautiful design, and mostly black with some accent colors. Then another market design that I bought from Counting Puddles is called Home Sweet Home. And it has her signature style of doing the like black work on top of the cross stitch, but also just such interesting details in the trees and flowers. Yeah, I really like this. It's so pink, and I feel like that just puts me in a good mood. Then I have another one by Bendy Stitchy. This one is called Advised to Chill. And it says, the parties are advised to chill. Again, I love the colors and the design on this one. And then here's another Carriage House Samplings piece. It's called Strawberry Blonde. I had thought about maybe doing a piece of this in my Strawberry Spot sampler, but I haven't quite figured that out yet. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that Carriage House Samplings is related to Kathy Barrick somehow. I'm not sure if she was a part of Carriage House Samplings or what exactly, but and you know, and she's also the mother of Liz Matthews from Hello from Liz Matthews, so a little long-time cross-stitch family. But yeah, I think it's so interesting. Like, there's like this giant strawberry and then this woman with strawberry blonde hair. Really like the design on that one. Another little house needlework. This one is called Herb Garden. And it says, the herbs in my garden are planted to share with friends and family and the little brown hare. And then there's a tiny brown bunny. I say tiny, but I always think these are very small, and then they end up being bigger than I expected, because the pattern is so small, you know. Here's a Teresa Kogut. This one is called Fox and Friend. And I just love like the fox and the little bird that's just hanging out. And it has like an interesting landscape with like the plants in the foreground and like the hill and the house in the background. I think this is almost 100% stitched. Like, it's almost full coverage, but I'm not sure. Oh, did you hear that? There was a little kitty who wanted to say hi. Maureen? You want to say hi to the people? Yeah. He must have woken up from a nap and now he wants attention. Hi. Oh, you want to purr into the microphone? Sneeze into the microphone? So funny. It's like they know what is important to you. He likes to steal our electronics. Okay, but back to the patterns. This one is by Ink Circles, called Squirrels of Sumatra. And it's part of the Sumatra series. I'm really interested in doing Forests of Sumatra and the Star of Sumatra, and then there's like the ones with the ships. I think I might have mentioned before that my family on my mother's side is Dutch Indonesian, and so Sumatra is in Indonesia, and these patterns were designed from looking at Sumatran needlework, so there's a little connection there for me. This one is by Kesslins, and it's called A Walk in the Park. It kind of reminds me of a chatelaine, but it's less complex. Like, I think there are only 7 or 8 colors and 1 charm. but it's really pretty. I love trees, as you might be able to tell from my background. Um, so yeah, there's that one. Um, I also have Wings of Change from Silver Creek Samplers. Um, I got this really because we have a milkweed in our yard that looks very similar to this. It's actually blooming right now and it's beautiful. Um, and I love to look for monarch caterpillars and butterflies um, when they're coming through. Um, sometimes we miss them when they're going south, but then we see them when they're coming north. Um, but yeah, it's nice. I let some of it kind of grow over in our yard, so there's a lot more blooms this year. Last year it was like a lot of not blooming stalks of milkweed. Um, and this year I can just tell like the bees and the butterflies are really into all the flowers in the yard, and it's like a little overgrown, but it's definitely giving food and sustenance to animals and bugs. So yeah, I like that. Um, and here's another one by Pickle Barrel Designs. This one's called Adventure is Calling. And I just love this because I love to camp. I really wish I was camping more, but it's a good reminder. Adventure is calling and I must go. Um, then from the Little Stitcher, I have Moby Dick, which I just love because it has this giant whale in it and a ship. So those are both things I think are great to stitch, are ships and aquatic animals. So this that one. I personally don't have a huge connection to the book Moby Dick. I've tried to start reading it a few times, but never got super into it. Then with my sheep, when I was seeking sheep patterns, I found this one. It's called Shepherd's Cottage by Elizabeth's Designs. And I like this one especially because it has a lot of specialty stitches. And the design is cute. Also, I love those trees and the border and the house that doesn't require a ton of fill-in but has great detail. Yeah. So that's that one. And then this one is a newer one by Sprouting Lupin. It's called Graveyard Guardian, and I just love her designs. Is it her? I don't know who the designer is, but Sprouting Lupine. This one came out in 2024. It might have been a market release or a marketplace, the online one. I'm not sure, but I know it was new at the time that I got it, and I really just like all of the little details in this. So there's that. Another older booklet. This is Images of Sun and Moon by Pegasus Originals, designs by Phyllis Berry Wooten. And I think it was this one that really spoke to me. I feel like I saw this in my life in the 80s and 90s. But it's got all of these great patterns. Like there's now, and there's this triptych of like horses running in the desert. And then, yeah, it's really great. And then there's these like flowers, like cowboy, and then the sailboat. And then there's a couple more on the back. It's like some of them you can tell are just like the same pattern but slightly different colors, or like this is the three horses but not in a triptych. And but then there's also these like pelicans, which I don't think are on the front. But yeah, really cool. So that's that one. I'm gonna get out something more complicated shortly, and the cat wants to go out, so I will be right back. Okay, so I have a couple of magazines. First is this one. It's Better Homes and Gardens Cross Stitch and Country Crafts from July and August of 1991. And I really got this one like specifically for this cover image, just this Cooler Designs music room stocking or something like that. And my partner is a musician, and I saw I think it was Stitch Apocalypse, who was sort of using a Cooler Design stocking but making it a little more specific to their partner that did a lot of weaving. And so it was like a sewing room, and they had just changed like some of the things to look more like a loom or something like that. So I was thinking about whether or not I could edit this to include like synthesizer keyboards instead of the piano or other things like that. No plans on when to start, but I do really like theirs. They have another stocking that's like Gardener's Cottage or something like that, and it's all like gardener things, and I really like that one. But this also has just a bunch of other projects in it. Like, there's this one that I think is so good in here. It's all different trees. And I'm pretty sure they're all real trees. And then there's sort of like some other ones that are like put together to put on you know, your gardening apron or your tote bag. Let's see, like there's a tree, and then this tote bag with 3 of the trees on it. I don't know, it's great. For just a random magazine that I got off of eBay. Let's see, it's like Bath Time Buddies, where I think the only thing that's cross stitched is the face. Sorry, this is kind of loud. There's some like hydrangea blooms. This is super 90s. This is like a flame motif that you put on your like back of your car seat, like trash bag, or the thing that you put your insurance in on your overhead visor. But yeah, I kind of love that, even though I don't think I would make it. And see if there's any other ones in here that I was like particularly excited about. Okay, I think those are the most exciting things, but I also love this like old DMC ad, and it was when DMC had 360 colors. It says get all 360 DMC colors, and it's like, yeah, I just found it entertaining because that's not how our advertisement for DMC would look now. But yeah, so that is that one. I have a couple more newer patterns and then another magazine. And then I might need to pause to get some other things out. So this is a newer one. This is called Gingham Flower by October House Fiber Arts. Super pretty. I haven't had a chance to get started on it, but this was a giveaway from the Notorious Needle Flosstube. But yeah, I just love how the flower is that like gingham texture. And this is only 97 by 73, so it would be quick. And then I'm not sure if I've talked about it before, but I was involved in the Make It Murder stitch along with Cross Stitch the Globe and some other folks, and the idea was to take something that was like more cozy cute and turn it into something that included murder, or like Stephanie did a Frosty Tiny Town that was set up to look like Fargo, the movie. And so my idea, which I have not implemented yet, is to use elements of Tiny Towns to create either a map or just a street from Twin Peaks. And so I have several Tiny Towns. First, I have Any Tiny Town, Tiny Town. And these are all by heart and hand. Frosty Tiny Town. And more Any Town, Tiny Town. So yeah, more to come with those when I get to like placing the different motifs, and some of them I'll have to design, just because there isn't something like exactly the thing that I want. But yeah, and then I have another more recent magazine. This is The World of Cross Stitch, which is a UK magazine. And it's from January 2023. And my aunt sent me this. And really the thing that I'm like the most excited about is the Sky Queen, so like flying dragon. It was the year of the dragon when I received this. But again, I have not gotten started on it. Just give you like a few tidbits about this from this one. So the dragon is by Anne Stokes art, and this is what it looks like finished. So that's pretty cool. And it says it's for advanced beginner, but I think it does have like blended threads in it. But otherwise it's just backstitch and cross stitch. No, oh no, I guess it doesn't have blended threads. So yeah, no specialty stitches or anything like that. I did like these that was like different motifs related to like Lunar New Year, the like Chinese New Year. And it was the year of the rabbit when this was happening, so just some cute designs. And then I thought these were just hysterical. So there's like a laptop and a Polaroid camera, a person giving themselves doing a selfie. Yeah, I really like those. There's also one in here which I don't think I can show you because I think it's just the pattern. It's like a Walkman, which I feel like no one has a Walkman these days, but I kind of want to stitch that. Because I was super into my Walkman when I was a kid. Oh, and then there's also this Tetris, Palestinian Tetris pattern, which is pretty cool. But yeah, there's other things in there, but I think those are the highlights. So that was the World of Cross Stitch from January 2023. Then newer, well, I don't know, maybe it's about the same amount of new, but this is Armchair Ornithologist by Lindy Stitches, which I just love. It's like all the bird watching, and one of my favorite podcasts talks about how like there's a certain age you get to and then all of a sudden you know names of birds. I don't know if that's totally true, but I definitely find myself more interested in like what are the birds that are eating out of our bird feeder than I ever was before. This is another like booklet with a few different patterns in it. It's Needlework Springtime Florals and Cross Stitch by Aspenlith Arn Publishing. I think I got this when I was like super excited about daffodils coming up in the spring. There's also this one. I think it might just be those two in there. So a little bit of a like older style of backstitch and cross stitch, but pretty, very pretty. Then there's cross stitch sampling by Graphic Needle Arts. And I think honestly I got this mostly for this butterfly, which looks like the blue swallowtail. I think that's the right one. And this very weird unicorn who looks kind of angry. But there's some other patterns in here. There's like some hospitality welcome kind of pineapple ones, and there's one that looks like a monk with a dove, and just some like interesting little bits of things in here. Oh, and I might have gotten it also just because there's like several borders. So there's just like this kind of border, and then there's like these different borders at the bottom. And so that's that one. And then this one kind of reminded me of some of the delicate flowers I've seen. Elizabeth on the Thread Gremlins stitch. This is called Rocky Mountain Wildflowers by Graphic Needle Arts. And try to get up a little closer here. But you can see there's like different wildflowers and their names. And the red columbine is native to the area that I live in, and so I think I also noticed that. Of course, because of the age of the pattern, there's lots of like putting it on like an afghan or on your bag or whatever. But yeah, I just really like that they're like intended to look like actual wildflowers and like very detailed. So yeah, I don't really have a plan for this, but I do like it. Okay, and so I think I might be down to just the things I have that are either kits or they're already in a project bag. So let me go through those, and we'll be back to share the last of my pattern stash. Okay, so a couple things that I have that are not like a full kit, but I've kitted them up or am working on them. This is another one from Cross Stitch and Country Crafts, but it's just one pattern. And this is the Delft sampler that I've been working on. So far I'm just working on the tiles, and I'm not totally sure what I'm going to put in the middle or if I'm just going to like collapse the middle. But I just really like these Delft tiles. So that's that pattern. One that I plan to start soon that was in a project bag already is Mirabilia Tree of Hope. I don't know what it is about this one that I love so much, but I guess I am like slowly dipping my toe into Fancy Lady water because I just really love like the way that the background is this like sort of rough khaki color, and then the tree is like the focal point, but it still has flowers and Fancy Ladies as well. So that's on my whip board, but it just hasn't been called. And then I have 2 Christmas patterns that I kitted up but never started. And those are, this one is by Couleur d'Étoile. It's a French company. And this is called Tombe la Neige, which is like snowfall, or the snow is falling. And I just really like this. I also got the dotted fabric because that's what it calls for. And then this one is by Dirty Annie's and it's called Winter Reindeer. I think this might have been from a D-stash. I don't have the buttons, but I just really like those like tall skinny reindeer next to the tree. Yeah. So I think those are the ones that are in project bags, except you've seen Twilight Moon by the Tiny Modernist kind of recently, and also the Woolly Zipper that I've been working on kind of recently. Yeah, I think that might be it for things that are in project bags. So for my pile of kits that were purchased as a kit, I have well, I don't want to open it because it's all packaged, but this is another one of those cat embroidery kits. There's a tiny bit at the bottom, like there's a little bit more of this the cat's feet and the rug. But yeah, it's on a printed canvas, and the reason there's like lines all over it is it's telling you like this is a satin stitch, this is a stem stitch, and what color to use. So those came in a pack of 4, I think, and I started one and I gave one to my best friend who said she wanted to start doing embroidery, and then these are the 2 I have left. So there's that one with the plants and the cat on the rug, and then there's this one which is similar plants and a cat on a rug. But yeah, super cute. And then from Dimensions, I have this kit, which makes me laugh so much because this is like basically one of our cats. She makes that like serious, I'm disappointed in you look pretty much all the time. Or especially if she wants something. And then the glasses are kind of like similar to mine. So, yeah, I love this. And you can kind of see there's like a damask pattern in the background. So it's not full coverage, but it's like there's wallpaper behind the cat, kind of. And yeah, this one came with this like green Aida, and then all of the threads are separated out and on thread cards, so that's nice. Oh, and it's called Mama Cat. I feel like with Dimensions kits, a lot of times the kit name is like not that helpful because it's very like generic, but it's called Mama Cat. This one is by Candamar Designs, and it's a dentist sampler. I don't know if I will actually create this, but my dad was a dentist until he retired, and I just thought this was funny and like 90s, and you know, it has like lots of different like dentist motifs on it, a toothbrush, toothpaste, like a smile with braces. Yeah, super funny. So there's that one. It says copyright 2006, which feels like not that long ago, but it's really 20 years ago. So then I have this Doreen Jones Floral Blooms card kit. So this is like, I think when you buy one of those magazines, like the World of Cross Stitch, I think. Yeah, the World of Cross Stitching. It usually comes with like a little kit that is like a bookmark or a card or something. So there's this one. And then I have this, but I don't think it was a kit, but I only have the pattern, and it's a Time for Tea bookmark kit. I actually want to put this aside because it has strawberries on it, so I might want to use those motifs on my strawberry spot sampler. But again, I'm pretty sure this came from the same, like, a kit that comes with the magazine. Another Dimensions kit. I have this one. It's called Peacock Butterflies. So you can kind of understand why the name is like very peacock plume colors, but in butterflies. And again, this is the one that has that same, like, the threads are all like organized for you on a thread card. I also got these on Amazon and don't know about their provenance very much, but I got these different like printed cross stitch kits. So there's this one. And you can see on the back, see that's like what the printed kits look like. I haven't opened them up, so I'm not sure exactly what the threads are like, but these are all printed kits. There's 4 of them. So there's that one, and there's this one. And there's this one. And there's this one. You can probably see why I like them, because I love landscape with like mountains and trees in it. But I've never done printed cross stitch, so I haven't started any of those yet. Another card that came in a magazine is this Stitchovia thank you card kit. And I have one more Dimensions kit. This is one of the petite kits. It's called Coffee Shop. And I think Liz Matthews from Hello from Liz Matthews and Annie from EXO Needle in the Hay EXO we're working on this together. Oh yeah? You have a lot to say, huh? Do you hear that? This is what I deal with on a daily basis. But yeah, so this is what this one looks like. Again, with the like pre-organized threads on a card. And I think the last kit I have is this Autumn Harvest Collection Honey from Mill Hill. This is another like beaded kit. This one does have colored threads, so I think there is more of it than the pink flower that is just cross stitch. But it does have beads. And I think those are all the kits that I have. Oh no, wait. know there's at least one more because there are those winter and summer patterns. Okay, well, there was a stack I hadn't looked at, and then I have some other things, but I don't know how useful it is even sharing this with you, but I was really excited about this kit. It's from, I don't even know how to say that, but it's like Hand Arbeidsfremme. It's a Danish company, and the kit is a canal scene from Amsterdam. I'm just gonna like do that much because there's no photo, but it's also kind of exciting to me because it's these traditional Danish flower threads. Now it is a pretty old kit, so I'm not sure how well these are gonna work, but I would like to try them. So at some point I will be stitching an Amsterdam canal scene. And I'm not sure if it has the copyright on here. Yeah, no, but it's interesting. It's in like 6 different languages. Yeah, so that's another kit I have. So the Danish Amsterdam kit. And then the ones I was talking about, there's 2 like pillow cover kits, or it could be framed, but they're dimensions kits, and this one is called Summer Pattern. So again, a very generic name, but this cool mirrored image. And then the other one that my partner bought me for Christmas is this one called Winter Pattern. And again, these will have the Aida and the threads all sorted for you. And then I think the last thing, which I showed sort of recently, that my partner got me for my birthday, was this little Ruth Bader Ginsburg kit, which is, you know, the kit is about the size of this box, so it's almost life size on the cover there. But yeah, so I think those are all my physical patterns and kits. I will someday be showing you them again. But yeah, I think I've picked out a few things that I would like to start in 2026, and we'll consider which things might be good for giveaways. And yeah, let me know if there was something in there you saw that you had never seen before, or that you are already planning on stitching, or anything like that. Let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe if you found this interesting, and I should be back in another week or 2 with a regular Flosstube update on my stitching. And I will see you then. Thanks. Hope you have the best day available to you and that you get some stitching done.